I wanted to teach about the idea of actually breaking down a high-level concept. I've been talking to a lot of parents about them, working with their kids at home and how the kids get really frustrated because they're just not getting the concepts that their school teachers are asking them to get. So I thought the best way to illustrate this whole point of how you break something down is to start with an idea that I think everybody understands: nuclear fusion. Okay, so if you're not a physicist and I told you I was going to teach you nuclear fusion today, you'd probably all freak out. Well, that's what happens to kids when we put certain concepts in front of them. They just freak out because it's so beyond what they currently understand. In order to help you understand nuclear fusion, I'd have to make sure that you understand other things before that. For example, basic atomic structure. So you kind of get the idea. So this concept right here, you read this as 5 plus 3 equals 5 minus 3 equals. Now to you, that's not a high-level concept. But to a child who is just learning basic arithmetic, that's a pretty high-level concept. First of all, the idea of five of something. If he can count and you've been exposing him to that, he will understand 5 of something. But this symbol right here, what does that mean? You know what it means, and I know what it means. What we need to do is take this idea, there we go, this idea right here, and put it in a language that he understands. So let's say we're talking about a 5 or 6 year old child. He understands the concept of more or less. So instead of saying, do you want more cereal? You might start by using the language of math to help him understand that concept. Should I add cereal to your bowl? 1 scoop. Should I add another scoop? 2 scoops. Should I add another scoop? And you keep using that math language in his everyday life so that he's comfortable with it. Does that make sense? I'm hoping that that makes sense. So it's very important to help kids understand high-level concepts by relating it to stuff that they already know. And that is a bit of a trick, but you know what they know. You're helping them at home. And so you can ask them questions. If you see this type of problem in front of your child, then you can ask him, what does that mean? What can you tell me about this? And if he doesn't really know what it means, then he's not going to get this higher level concept. I mean, that kind of makes sense, right? So in the world of education, we call that differentiating. When you take a concept and you change it, so change the presentation of it so that the child can better understand it and better grasp the concept. So if you want to know more about that, please message me and I can certainly help you with it. The other thing that I wanted to talk more about is just the confidence that it will instill in your child. If you can find these concepts within the high-level concept that he does understand, because then he'll realize he does know something. So that's very important. That's a very important thing to do. So these are what we would call, in the world of education, desired learning outcomes. Basically, we want them to learn to add and subtract. But you can't learn to add and subtract until you understand what it means. It has to have meaning. Math can be extremely abstract for children especially, and maybe for some adults too. But if you can help him bring that abstract into something that's concrete that he understands, the idea of more or less, that would be very, very helpful. So I'm going to, as I experiment with these live videos and the things that I talk about on E-Schoolhouse, I'm going to experiment with different concepts like this. If this is something that you would find valuable, I would really like to hear from you. If you would like to get on a chat to talk about a specific thing, I would really like to do that with you too. So I appreciate you tuning in and listening to this. If you have any ideas, let me know, and I will see you soon. Have a good one.